We'll start off with adding water into the cooking pan. We'll turn on the stove and let the water boil for around 10 minutes. Then, we'll start cutting up the meat, which is pork, into small little squares, and try to take off all the fat from it. We will then rinse the meat a few times. As the water starts to boil, we then start adding the pieces of meat into the boiling water and let it cook for around 2 hours. This causes a chemical change and the Maillard process to take place, which particularly occurs between amino acids and sugar. The Maillard reaction, also known as the boiling reaction, is the reaction in which food may vary from color, flavor, and aroma. We then get oil, turn on the stove, and let it heat up for a few minutes. We will be adding 2 cups of rice and stir it for a bit until it starts getting to a darker brown. We then get 1 tomato, wash it, and then cut it into fourths. We'll get a small piece of garlic and also cut up 1/4 of the onion. Add a bit of water and blend it.
Rice is composed of 90% starch. Therefore, when cooking rice at an elevated temperature, we see the starch absorbing the water, causing the rice to swell as the heating continues. We added 6 cups of water, a tablespoon of red tomato seasoning, 1 tablespoon of chicken flavor seasoning, This is an example of a chemical reaction. In addition, we added 2 small pieces of cilantro and 1 package of the blended cilantro mixture. We washed the cactus and cut it into small pieces, put it in a pan with water and let it boil for 20 minutes. We added salt and 5 chiles de árbol or chili peppers. Nopales contain a slimy fluid that is released in the water when it is boiled. It contains many vitamins such as vitamin A, B, and C, and in addition contains minerals such as magnesium, sodium, and iron. Nopal contains many amino acids, insoluble and soluble fibers. We checked on the rice and stirred it for a bit so that the rice wouldn't stick to the pan. We also stirred the nopales and the chiles de árbol. And we checked that the meat was browning and cooking.
As you can see, we then used 5 guajillo chilies and 1 ancho chili. We cut them in half and we took out all of the seeds from inside of them. We will be using those seeds after to toast them and then blend them with the rest of the mixture. Well, here we just mix a few more times the cactus because it's almost ready. Then we will get the seeds and pour into the cooking pan. That way we could toast them. They will start changing color after a few minutes.
When toasting the chili seeds and chilies, a deeper, richer, and more pronounced flavor is released, especially when blended with the other ingredients. We also toasted the animal crackers. Through toasting the flour, we are able to cook out the raw flavor, and it gives the flour a nutty yet complex flavor. The longer we cook the flour, the darker it will become and the richer flavor it becomes, causing both a chemical and physical change.
We'll start off by putting in the blender the toasted seeds of guajillo and ancho chiles, the toasted animal crackers, the 3 pieces of peppers, the 3 pieces of clavos, the garlic, the oregano, the ginger, the thyme, the albahaca, and a small piece of Abuelita's chocolate bar. Then we will have to cut a piece of cinnamon. We then add a tablespoon of the chicken flavor seasoning and the boiled chiles and the juice. And also 3 of the spoons of the toasted flour.
We added additional salt to the meat. And before blending the mixture, we added 1 cup of flour and 1 cup of broth. When blending food, the process of oxidation is occurring. This is caused when oxygen is stuck in the blender, destroying the nutrients. Oxidation may occur when food is juiced, cut, chopped, or exposed to the air. We put the mixture through the strainer with all the blended mixed ingredients. This is an example of liquid filtration.
Therefore, we added the meat broth. That way it's easier to stir because of the thick flour mixture. We then added the nopales and stirred for a few minutes. Lastly, we added the meat to the sauce. And we left the sauce boil for about 30 minutes.